Hello there guys, and welcome back to another exciting, riveting episode of Minecraft. We are currently standing down here next to the Wither farm. This is version 2.0. It's something that I sort of hinted at. Well, technically this is more like 3.0, but you only saw the first one, so anyways, I sort of hinted at this in the last episode, which was the one where we had a special guest. But this time I'm going to actually show off what I've done with it. Now you'll notice I have a pyramid and a beacon up there. That was the thing that was taking up some of my iron that I had mentioned before. Turns out it takes a lot of iron blocks to do that. Fortunately, I've been playing this world since 1.9, so plenty of iron to spare. Essentially, I'll explain the whole setup here in a minute. But what I've got is the maximum number of blocks here needed for the pyramid. So I have constant effect, regeneration, and resistance, which is very handy against the Wither. And then enchanted iron armor. I've tried this with regular iron armor, and he is usually able to kill me, so I'd recommend at least having a little bit of protection, projectile protection. I think projectile and explosive protection work. I don't know about projectile, but I'm sure explosive does, and obviously just regular protection. With that, you can usually tank the damage if you've got these two, and this. Obviously, if you had diamond armor, that would work better, but he eats through your armor pretty fast, so I'd rather just use iron, honestly. Okay, so let's explain what I've got going on here. The reason everything is covered in water is to prevent it from exploding. Obviously, when he explodes, blocks can get destroyed. Like the glowstone can get destroyed by normal explosions, but he can actually eat through the stone bricks here. And technically, he can still eat through them even though there's water over them. In fact, you can see where he got one right there. But it's much less likely if the water is in the way. The reason I have this border around is because he tends to knock you about a bit, and chances are I'll get knocked into this and be able to make my way back into the center, because it's really a pain when you're trying to swim at the same time as fight him. And again, the only reason this is actually out in the water is because I wanted to prevent him from causing any damage to anything else. So this currently works pretty well for me. We'll see in a minute. I have a bunch of beacons now, and he's pretty easy to farm ever since the glitch with the nether where these guys weren't spawning got fixed. So let's go ahead and fight him, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, you want to definitely get out of the way at the beginning because he does explode for quite a bit of damage. Alright. In fact, actually, I'm pretty sure the most damaging attack he has is when he spawns like that, so watch out for that. We hear that crunching sound, that means he's trying to eat blocks. What happens a lot of the time, well, he got some of them this time. What actually ends up happening a lot of the time. Okay, I got my star. We lost a few blocks here. But anyway, what happens a lot of the time is that he'll actually eat one of the water blocks, and because of the way this is set up, they'll simply flow back to how they were. So that tends to work pretty well. There's actually quite a bit of damage this time. A lot of times, oh, he got some of the glowstone. That's a shame. A lot of times I can get away with him not eating any of the blocks, which is pretty good. Anyways, you saw that was pretty easy. He didn't get me past, a couple hearts down. Just wearing iron armor with some enchantments on it and having the effects up there. Now, for most people, this farm design probably isn't all that efficient, simply because of how much iron you need for it. But if you have a ton of iron stockpiled like I do, it's a pretty good way to go. trying to remember how many beacons I have set up in my world now. There's one here, one at that base, two at another base, another one there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got at least 6 out of my world now, and a couple more in storage. Once you have a setup like this, he's pretty easy to farm. And again, what you can do if you don't have this, obviously, is just use potions. You know, use the regeneration potion. That's probably the biggest one. I would recommend that once you've killed him a couple times, at least get the first pyramid, which is the 3x3. And you can set, I think, sharpness with. I can't remember exactly. It might be speed actually, so maybe not that useful, but it makes for a pretty efficient farm design for me. You know, once you put in the pretty good amount of iron that you need to get it up and working. Anyways, let's go ahead and head back to base here, which should be in this way direction. There are actually a lot of little things that I've done since the last episode that I wanted to show, so this might become more of a what I've done episode versus a we're going to do this episode, which is not my favorite thing to do, but you know, it has its place every once in a while. This is all mostly stuff that I wouldn't want to devote a whole episode to, but I've just been working on in my spare time, or you know, when I'm watching a YouTube video or whatever. Let's re-render these chunks, shall we? You'll notice there's some new pixel art up here. This is Suako, some sort of frog deity or something. I don't know. I've already said this before. I'm not like too up on all the Toho lore and stuff, but I just think these look pretty cool. The reason is because when you go up here, this area was looking a little bit empty, so I figured I should add one more. So, yeah. This one was really easy. It only took me like 40 minutes or so. I was listening to Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, and I didn't get all the way through the album, so that should tell you. Yeah, I like the Beach Boys. Get over it. Pet Sounds is a brilliant album. Anyways, first thing that I think might be a little bit interesting to you guys, well, very first thing is I have a garage now. Yes, indeed. If you go over here, you see we got these, and he just comes in here and I can drive him around where I want him, which is actually completely pointless because it's much faster just to walk, but hey, it's all good. Yeah, as you can see, I've got more skulls and more beacons in my storage. In fact, let's go ahead and, well, I'll just hold this on me for now. So the first major thing, and this is big because this has been a big long-term project for me, I finally finished this village. It's, you know, it's basically completely done at this point. All the torches that were on the ground, you know... Oh, there's still string up here. I was messing around with putting string over this and seeing how it looked. It didn't look good, so I got rid of it, but apparently I missed some. Anyways, all the torches and everything that were on the ground, you know, just in random areas lighting stuff, are gone, and every single area in this village is now lit, so it's basically 100% monster proof. The only thing that can possibly happen is if I get an Enderman who happens to randomly teleport inside. Other than that, nothing can get in because, you know, we got the walls here that are spider proof and nothing can spawn inside, so it's pretty cool. I've been working on that for a while. Once it turns completely night, I think we'll head up here or here and we'll take a look at it. It looks pretty cool at night. But one thing that I'm pretty proud of with this, that wasn't, or not really proud, more like impressed by. This wasn't really planned, but it turned out that the entire village is basically parkourable. So if I start from this area, I can actually make my way all the way around the village doing parkour, which is kind of awesome. The only problem is when you fall off, because there isn't always a way to get back up. But let's just go for an epic run here so I can throw a montage together. It's a nice little way to amuse myself, I suppose. Some of these jumps are a little bit difficult, but most of them can be made. Obviously, I haven't done any time trials or anything yet. But, you know, maybe. Maybe sometime in the future. Whoa, lag. That was weird. Okay. What can I say? Still not the best optimized game. Oh, I messed up. Hold on. There we go. Obviously, a perfect run would not have that that happen. I messed up again. You're supposed to go on top of the house, but whatever. Yeah, look at all these fools down here. But they can't get to me, so it's all good. Whoa. Then we're going to jump off here. And I think the best way to go is to make our way around here. Over to here. And we're going to need to go to this one, I suppose. Anyways, basically the point here is that there is no point. This is entirely pointless, but yeah, there you go. Well, I fail at Minecraft parkour. You get the idea. But entirely pointless, but I think it's pretty cool nonetheless. So, anything else been added in here? I don't think so. But I have been doing a little bit of strip mining lately. Again, just when I'm watching, say, a YouTube video or something. And check this out. Yeah, look at all that diamond. That's a lot of diamond. You can see I still got quite a bit of iron left, but I was out to about here with iron blocks before I made that one pyramid. Anyways, let's go ahead and get up to a high up area, and I will show you guys the view from the sky. Okay. Yeah, one thing I forgot was that the minecart noises are actually really, really loud. And they don't change volume with where the sound level is at, so you have to turn it all the way off to be able to hear me. So, we're just going to go roll without sound for a while. It'll just take a second to get up to the top, and then we'll take a look at it. Hi there. This is something that's very, very cool looking, and I'm very proud of the way it turned out. It very much does look like a little city, which is cool, especially when it renders. There we go. Yeah, very much a fan of that. Anyways, as long as we're on here, we might as well keep going, because there is something else that you may have noticed when I looked at the map a second ago. See that big red spot? Well, I did something a little silly there, so we'll take a look at it. Again, still going to be continuing the pixel art off in this direction. Okay, this is where the sand farm was. And I've had people tell me it looks like a chunk error, so what I actually did... We're not going to jump down there, so I'm afraid I might not survive that. Well, actually, we could jump down here. I don't know why I always instinctively just block when I'm falling, even though it doesn't actually help. Hopefully I don't get mauled by zombies or something. Hey, look, zombies. Yeah. So basically what I did was... Get out of here. I dug all the way down to bedrock within the sand farm here. And then I went one level above bedrock, put a layer of cobblestone, a layer of lava on top of that, and then a layer of glass on top of that. So it's sort of like a a giant lava pit, I suppose, with obviously it's got glass on top of it, so it's safe, but I just think that looks pretty cool. It reminds me of my time spent playing SMP with buddies, where you would host a server and all these horrible chunk errors would show up, and yeah, pretty cool. We're not going to go down there. I do have a ladder going down, but it actually takes forever to get back up, so we're not going to do that. Okay then. Let's go ahead and continue on the track here, because I have done a little more work in the second village. Well, technically it's the third village that I found, but it's the second one I've started working on. I am going to do something with this village eventually, but that is very much a future plan, future project. Oh, nice shot. Into the cactus. You know, technically mobs can climb ladders, but they have to always walk at it the perfect angle. And they usually won't do it on their own. Okay, so we can take either of these actually. Let's go ahead and take this one. There it goes again. I like the minecart sound, it's just way too loud, so that needs to be fixed. That right there is the cave we went in last episode. Myself and Sakamoto Cat. And let's re-render the chunks again. So quiet. So very quiet. Okay, so here's the village, the other village. There's the dock, or the pier, that I built a couple episodes ago. And there's really only one thing that I've done here, but I like the way it turned out, so we're going to take a look at that. Ladder should be right here, yes. Maybe I'll make some way to actually get down, like a minecart system that goes up and connects. I probably will do that, but not for now. I'll just leave the sound off for now. Or not, because there's something I want to show. Okay, so I mentioned I was going to be putting gates in, and I did. So let's take a look at those. This is the design that I came up with here, and it's using a new T flip-flop design that I found, which I can post a link to in the description. It's a blazing fast design. So check this out, from the time that I press the button to the time that this goes. Very, very fast. Obviously, it is just sticky pistons with these blocks on it. But let me actually, I'll go to the other one and I'll break into it and show you guys a little bit of the wiring. It's pretty simple. Not complex in any way. But I think it looks pretty good, keeping with the sort of rustic, rundown castle theme. Got the same thing on this side. Very fast. Okay. So this switch is just for the light there. Same with that one. Let's see if there's a way for me to actually get down there without breaking my wiring. I think I should be able to break this. Yes. Okay. So the T flip-flop is actually right here. It's basically like 4 wide by 2 tall, which is pretty compact as well. Signal goes out, goes into these, which triggers those, and then comes up here and triggers the pistons on the top. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to bother, you know, going through. I don't want that. I'm not going to bother going through exactly how I did it, because there's probably a much more efficient way to do it. A redstone expert I am not, but I do very much like the way it turned out. Again, just very, very fast T flip-flop design, which I'm very happy with. Where'd my minecart go? Well, maybe it's up here still. I like the ladder climbing sounds, those are cool. There you are. Okay, let's make our way over here. Yes, yes. To the rail station. And we'll check out what's going on over there. Haven't done much with it. I just added some beacons to the top, which I think looks pretty good. So we'll check that out. Can actually be very handy when the world doesn't render like this, because you can take a look at what's down there. Got a lot of ravines here. Whoa, forgot about that. Startled me for a sec. Let's re-render the chunks. A little bit of this rail system has to be updated. There are some parts that need to be connected a little bit better and that sort of thing, but I still am very happy with it. So you can see I put 2 beacons on this one. The main reason for that being that this is actually an even number of blocks, so it would have been impossible to center it otherwise. This patch, this 12W40, finally it's been fixed so that the animals don't teleport to you automatically every time you get within range. That was so obnoxious. And I'm so glad that's been fixed. So if we go back here and take a look, yeah, that's it. Looks pretty good. Maybe I'll build up something in the middle there so it doesn't look so flat on the top, but yeah. I never really designed this building to look super fancy. It's more of a, you know, practical sort of building. Just serves as the hub for my, well, my rails. This right here goes off to the cave system, in which I have my triple spawner XP system. What are you doing up here? Okay. Cool. And then this way, of course, goes to the Citadel, which is in desperate need of a makeover. And we'll go check that out. And there's actually a quick way to get back to my house from here, so that's always good. Okay. One thing I do like about these a lot is that because they're lit and they're elevated, it's also impossible for enemies to get me while I'm up here. So, again, it's one of those 100% monster-proof kind of things where I can just look down at the scenery and leisurely make my way in between areas, which is pretty cool. This way right here goes off to the sheep factory, which is just where I get my wool. I've shown it in the past. Nothing new has really changed there, except for before I had signs for the wool, so it said like red, white, green, you know, for the color wool. Now I have item frames, and I have a piece of the wool in there, so it's a more visual sort of thing. Looks a little bit better. And we should be coming up on the Citadel any second now. Especially once well, I guess I don't need to re-render the chunks. Still very, very happy with the way the floating island looks from the bottom. Not so much happy with... oh, okay. Not so much happy with what's on top of it at this point. It's, if you recall, it's sort of like a forest-ish thing up there, and I probably want to renovate it. As with most of this area, actually. You can look at this place sort of as the prototype for the village work I've been doing lately. You know, enclosing a certain area and making it monster-proof, but really there's not a lot here, and it looks pretty bad in comparison to some of the stuff I've done in the past, you know. This doesn't need to have its own thing. The farm is bad. This is bad. This is bad, with the exception of the potion room underneath. This is okay. I like this. It's an infinite water source. And we got that, of course. But other than that, I think this area is going to need a major facelift at some point. so we'll have to get on that eventually. Not going to head up there because it takes forever. As always, if I go into this nether portal, I can quickly get back to my house. So I basically just go back in here. And here I am, back at home sweet home. I may replace these with lamps too. I like the lamps a lot better than just the glowstone by themselves. Ta-da! So here we are. So as far as what projects are coming up, well, my next long-term project is going to be essentially to do this, all of this, to the other village that I found. Not that I found, the other village I've been working in. The one that has the pier and everything in it. So that's definitely a long-term thing. I won't be like devoting an episode to that or something. Other than that, like I said, we need to renovate the Citadel, and just tons and tons of more stuff to work on, honestly. I don't foresee myself running out of things to work on in this for a very long time. I've been stockpiling poisonous potatoes because I have a feeling they're going to be useful for something eventually. Probably a potion or something, I don't know. Also, this guy keeps escaping and disappearing. I have no idea where he's going. I've had to keep trapping different villagers in there, but all the other ones are good. Like this guy's still here. Guy's through the floor. The priest over there is still. Is this him? No. That's not him. See, I don't even know where he went. I almost feel like that's just a glitch, a visual glitch. I almost feel like he glitched through the floor and suffocated or something, because I've been losing a lot of villagers that way. This guy's still here. The guy in the bank is still there, so I don't know. I'll have to come up with something to keep that guy from disappearing. So anyways, guys, that's what I've been working on the last little while. Like I said, it's a lot of little things. Nothing huge. Nothing major. But I'm going to call the episode here because we are nearing the 30-minute mark at this point. Again, apologies that not a lot got done this episode. It is more just this is what's been going on kind of thing. But I have to do those every once in a while. However, I do promise you that next episode we will be working on a project, whatever that might manifest itself as. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time, which should be sooner rather than later. So until then, thanks for watching, and I will see ya.